In this episode of the Great Aussie Build Off, we finish our supercharger installation, get the ute on the dyno and test it out at the track. So pretty much you're doing this side at the moment.
Yep.
So I'll run the wiring extension and do all the wiring on that side.
Yep.
I'll do the catch can on that side, and then
The
come back and
hoses.
help you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically I'm doing that side, you're doing this side.
Yeah, that works.
Cool. All right, let's do it.
eBay Plus, fast, free delivery.
See that? Look, member discounts.
Oh, good.
What about that bit under there I told you about?
What do you mean?
I said do under that bit
Dude,
under
stay
there.
on your side.
What do you mean my side?
Mate, I'm trying to do this job, you do whatever you're doing over there.
Fine.
I would... I'm sick of you copying my work. Seriously putting a tape line? Oh,
There you go, you happy now?
no.
That's your side, that's my side.
You go work over there and ignore what I'm doing.
Fine. So rather than have the PCV breather style system that the CAPA supercharger kit comes with, I ordered an Ants Performance oil catch can and breather setup. We went for the race version as they call it because it's got braided lines, so I'm just making up the braided lines now. It comes with all the fittings, has little AN fittings that go into the cam cover as well, and this has a nice little bracket that attaches to where the water reservoir does. And yeah, the street version's a bolting kit, but the race version you've just got to make up your own braided lines, and considering I've done about, I don't know, 732 fittings in the last few weeks, I'm on a roll. So let's get this catch can in. So as per CAPA's instructions, we've idled the car for 10 to 15 minutes to help start the bedding procedure for the supercharger. Checked over the car for any leaks, we bled the cooling system. Grub did a great job of bleeding the intercooler system, which was pretty good. From here, we have to keep the standard airflow meter and map sensor on it. And basically drive it for 100 to 150 Ks with no boost, hardly any throttle, below 3,000 RPM to basically bed the supercharger in. That's what they've asked us to do, so we'll do it. And then after that, we can drop it at Empire and they'll install the injectors, they'll install the new map sensor, and then they'll tune it.
Yeah. All right, let's go predictions.
Predictions? On 98, I'm thinking 400 kilowatts.
Right. I reckon like 370.
You reckon?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just vibing.
I have mates nearly 280.
Oh yeah.
It's got to go 380, 400. This is my first V8 build, first Ute build, first supercharger build, first leaf spring suspension build.
That's a lot of firsts.
A lot of firsts, yes. So, should be good. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
All right, let's get the bar and stuff back on. And
Yeah, fit it up, and then I guess it's your job to do
I'll go run it in.
because I can't do it.
I guess after this little montage, we'll see you at Empire. Can you cue the montage?
Montage!
Well, Omar, you've done a stellar job, mate. That looks like it made that extra power so easy.
It did.
What is it, 9 PSI?
Yeah, 9 PSI right at 6,500 RPM.
So we've gone from 340 horsepower to 526 horsepower, give or take a couple, depending on temperature at the moment.
Yeah.
But torque is up 50%. That's going to make it
Massive.
pretty interesting to drive, right?
It'll be a totally different car to drive.
What I like though is the centrifugal supercharger means that this was a very sort of linear engine to begin with, right?
Yeah.
Like it really needed revs to work, but
Yeah.
this supercharger kind of matches it nicely. If we had heaps of mid-range from a screw type supercharger, it'd probably want to blow the tyres off everywhere.
It's
but
totally different, yeah.
it
But I
should
think
still-
this is just perfect streeter. Look, you can see, look, it comes to life like probably around about 4,000 RPM now.
Yeah.
And it just keeps going. Compared to what it was in A,
Yeah.
they're real doughy.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
So it's made a big difference, a massive amount of difference in the torque. So, mate, you're gonna love it.
Mate, power is all good for bragging rights, but torque is what's really going to affect the way it feels to drive. So I think this should be pretty good. Could you have made more if you're like, how have you kept the tune on this? Have you kept it conservative enough that I can do anything in it? Is there more in it? What could you do?
So I've actually made a bit more. I think made like 550 horsepower.
Yep.
But I thought, the way you're going to drive it, I just brought it down a little bit, just to keep it safe. So the way it is right now, you can go and just kill it.
So we can go to Cootamundra, we can do burnouts, we can do everything.
Whatever you like.
But if we were going to go to the drags tomorrow and put octane booster in it, there's a bit of horsepower left if we wanted
There
it.
is definitely.
Right.
There's probably another 25, 30 horsepower we can squeeze out of it easily.
Yeah, right. So for those guys out there watching and wondering, sometimes you need to sacrifice a little bit of horsepower just to make sure it can cop whatever we throw it. Because I want to be able to lap the nats, I want to be able to go everywhere.
Reliability, it just
Yeah.
comes down to that, that's it.
Could we go E85 on this?
E85, this thing will make way more power.
What are we talking?
I'd say probably pick up probably another 70 horsepower,
On the same boost?
probably the same boost.
What if we went a different pulley in E85? You
Go
reckon?
smaller pulley, probably say around about 12 pounds, E85, you'll make probably close to 500 kilowatt.
Wow.
Easy.
Sorry, Benny. No, we'll leave it like this for now. Yeah, we'll leave it like this for now because we want to be able to go anywhere, and I've got a feeling that some of our challenges are going to involve some very Australian conditions.
Yeah.
So I think we'll leave it like that, and it'll be safe as houses. But let's go for a drive. What do you reckon?
Done. Let's go.
Let's do it. All right, first drive. Let's give her a little stab. First up, shall we? She's definitely quicker than before, that's for sure. First impression, now it spins the tyres in first gear, even with good tyres on, but the suspension and tyres means it will hook up in second. And what I do like about the way it drives already is just the power curve, and I guess the character of the engine hasn't changed. So if we had a turbocharger or a screw type supercharger, we would probably have more mid-range as the boost comes in a lot earlier, which would probably make it fry the tyres more and make it harder to drive. But obviously the centrifugal supercharger builds boost with RPM. So I guess as revs go up, boost goes up, power goes up. So it still has a power curve similar to when it was factory NA. So it needs some revs on board to kind of do its job. So I like that with this car. It makes it easier to drive because when you're just cruising, you can just, you can just pop it into 6th gear and cruise along exactly like a factory car. So all that putting around below 2,500, it drives like factory. It's, the party kind of starts at 3 and it's really starting to boogie from sort of 4.5 is where you really feel it. So I guess that's a good thing. Well, there you have it. In summary, it's pretty good. It's not going to set the world on fire with, being a 10-second car or anything, but like I'd like to think it's probably a high 12-second car now instead of a high 13-second car. Mid-12s maybe, but we'll see how we go. All we can do is go to the drags and find out, right? Let's do it. I was actually racing Benny Neal's other car, his LS powered IS200, and he got me up top on that one. I got out of the hole a little bit better, but he got me up top. That was a much better run. Still difficult to put power. I had to be very lazy out of the hole. Even then, it wanted to spin. Second spun. It's definitely time to go onto a drag radial. Definitely. That felt so much better in the 60. It was a 197, but then it went 13.4 at 103. So, don't know where the grunt went, but
good weird, bad weird,
bad weird.
Yeah, right.
It was strange. Well, the drag strip didn't go exactly to plan, but we did learn some things. Firstly, I know why it was slow on its last run, and what I couldn't see in the darkness of the pits that night, but I found the next day pretty easily, is that the intercooler pipe had basically popped off. It hadn't popped off to the point where you'd noticed it in the dark looking in the engine bay, and it still drove around fine. It was still sort of sitting on the edge, but obviously once it came on boost, it would actually push back, and obviously you had no boost, which is why the mile per hour was the same as stock. If we'd combined the launch of that last run with the mile per hour of the second run, it'll go high 12s, but obviously we need to go and do it. But I fixed that up, changed some clamps around to some better ones, and it's all sweet now, and we've got all our grunt back, so we can make sure that we flog Benny's ute. So what else did we learn from the drags? Well, the factory LSD is starting to wear out under that power, and it sometimes goes single spinner during the burnout or launch. Not all the time, just sometimes. So I ordered a True Track LSD that I found on eBay, got that delivered, and then took the car over to Sean at Gearbox Masters, who installed the True Track LSD for us. So now the thing can do better hoops, launch better, and is much more consistent to drive. Because when you have an LSD that's starting to wear out and go open, it can actually be a little bit unpredictable when you drive it and it gets wheel spin. So the new True Track LSD, perfect. So our XR8 is now ready to take on Benny's V Ute and give him these ones.